The West Ham Massive are pleased to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham fans and friends inspired by the work of other football food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations for a Newham food bank in Beckton, who supplies 7 distribution centres in the borough 7 days a week and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thanks for your support. Come on, you Irons. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome once again to the West Ham Massive. Thank you for joining me. As I always implore you to do, please don't forget to like, comment on and share this stream to your social media platforms and subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. And if you haven't, why not? Don't forget to hit the bell icon and click all. You'll be notified of any new content as and when it's added to the channel. As always, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much indeed for your support. In this endeavour, we are here to discuss the match that takes place tomorrow. I'm going to try my best. Greek pronunciations is not my strong suit. Stadio Georgios Karaisakis. I can't. I've tried. George's Stadium. We'll go with that. How about that? That's probably the best I can do. George's Stadium. There you go. So we're going to George's Stadium to play Olympiacos. Match day 3 out of 6 in the UEFA Europa League. Now, before we I better get the disclaimer out of the way. If an adult language word comes out, if I say a swear word, if it offends you, you might want to sort of go and do something else. I do apologise. I don't mean to offend, but, you know, I appreciate that some people get a little bit out of their pram with people saying words like fuck, shit, bollocks, arse. There you go. You get the idea, don't you? Anyway, right. So let's get the officials out of the way. Ben might turn up at some point, and he's got other things sort of on, so he might sort of he might not sort of get in. There along the bottom is the officials. Again, an absolute nightmare to try and pronounce. I mean, look at them. Let's try it, shall we? You at home, you know, if you're watching this live, if you're watching this later on, whatever. So we've got the referee is Andres T. Manis. Yeah, we'll go with that. His assistants are Harold Gudamanis and Alexei Spanish. Oh, Jesus Christ. What is that? Spasenikovs. Yeah, okay. The fourth official is Alexander's Gulubevs. We'll go with Gulubevs. You lot at home are probably laughing your bollocks off at me trying to pronounce these fucking names. It's ridiculous. They're all from Latvia, anyway. The VAR is Dennis Higler. I thought that, when I read that, I thought it was Dirk Diggler. Have anybody seen Boogie Nights? Do you know the film Boogie Nights? Mark Wahlberg, you know. It's Dennis Higler, not Dirk Diggler. He's from the Netherlands. And the assistant VAR is some geezer called Kristaps Ratnieks, and he's also from Latvia. There you go. So now, so the usual thing, I'm just going to sort of like jump into the comments because you're probably all there laughing your fucking heads off at my mispronunciations of Greek, of Latvian. I managed to do Dirk Diggler justice, or whatever his bloody name is. So who have we got in? We got Happy Hammerette. Hope you're doing well, sweetheart. Hope you're well. Sharky's in. Irons. Mark's in, evening, HH and Gatesy, and Sharky, they're all saying hello to each other. So they're having a little getting to know one another, knowing me, knowing you. Sharky, don't make me do it. Please don't. Facebook user. I'm not actually too sure who that is. I'm just going to have a quick look on Facebook user, who that is, because it doesn't come up. That was. I can't tell who it is. I can't tell who you are. I've got no idea. So you're saying hello. I'll say hello back because I'm friendly like that. But I've got no idea who you are because it just comes up Facebook user if you're commenting on Facebook. I'll probably find out afterwards. How are their fans even allowed in after the last game? Well, yeah, for those of you that don't know, their last match in the Greek Super League, they played out kind of anyway. It finished 1-1 simply because the game finished after about 55 minutes. They were playing an Athens derby against their local rivals, Panathinaikos. Absolutely fucking bonkers, these two teams, when they sort of like lock horns. You know, there's certain sort of like matches in world football that are just like, what the fuck is going on there? Like Boca Juniors, River Plate, Red Star Belgrade, Partizan Belgrade, Galatasaray, Fenerbahce, local derbies like that are just like so fucking passionate, and they do cross a line sometimes. Well, if you don't know what happened, basically what happened around about 55 minute mark, Panathinaikos subs were sent out to warm up. I haven't actually seen the footage of this, but this is what I've heard. They've gone out to warm up. Someone's thrown a firework. It's hit one of the Panathinaikos subs. He's gone down like a sack of shit, as you would. Let's be fair. If you got hit by a fucking Catherine wheel, let's be completely honest, you wouldn't be too happy, would you? It'd probably sting a little bit, yeah? So he's gone down. It's all sort of kicked off. He's got carted off on a medical sort of like wagon, whatever. The Panathinaikos players have gone, fuck this. We're going off. We're going to the changing rooms. And basically they said they weren't coming out. They turned around and said, no, up with this, we will not put. The game was abandoned at 1-1. And yeah, I mean, I'm guessing happy. I don't know whether it's anything to do with it, but is it possibly because, number one, it was sort of like only a couple of days ago, so they've obviously got to have all of the due, everything's got to take due process and all the rest of it. And the other thing is that it was a Greek Super League game, not a Europa Conference League game. So I don't know whether that's possibly the reason behind it. But as Mark says in his next comment, it's all Greek to him. So there you go. And you, Facebook user, whoever you bloody are, laughing away, I'll tell you what, we'll have words. We'll have words. Yeah, well, hopefully it won't be, Sharky. Hopefully we'll get the result that we need, which I think minimum is avoiding defeat. But ideally, if we can get all 3 points, 9 points, 3 games played, we're virtually into, well, I think we'd be guaranteed to, at the worst ways, be runners up in the group. But realistically, I think that if we win tomorrow, I think that realistically, with 2 home games left, we should really be in the last 16 of the Europa League. So there you go. League games are more lively than European nights, as they know they will get punished. Very true. Boogie Nights, amazing film. Yeah, I thought it was a great film. If anybody hasn't seen Boogie Nights, you got to go and see it. So, Hodgie, yep, I'm all right, mate. Hope you are doing good, old son. Have you seen Little Podence's stats this season so far? 6 games, 4 goals, 3 assists. Yeah, Daniel Podence, the former Wolverhampton Wanderers forward, he's now at Olympiacos. I don't know if he's gone there on loan, if he's a permanent signing. I'm not quite sure. But he's gone there. All right, his stats look good. But let's not sort of get too overblown over it. Let's be completely honest. And I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to piss anyone off. I'm not trying to be offensive. But let's be completely honest. The Greek Super League, other than Panathinaikos, other than Olympiacos, other than AEK Athens, if I was to say to you guys watching this, name me another Greek Super League team outside of those 3, you're probably going to struggle. So that probably tells you what you need to know. He's gone to a league that, with all due respect, is fairly substandard, and his stats look good. Oh, wow. Let's see what he's going to do against a Premier League team, shall we? And not just a Premier League team. Premier League team that's got a European trophy in their back pocket. Yeah, no, there you go. Oh, it's Mandy. Mandy. Oh, how you doing, sweetheart? I hope you are well. Mandy, as she says in the next one. So, yeah, all right. So let's get onto it, right? I'm just going to stop the comments just real quick. So I'm obviously going to take, normally Ben's here. I fire the questions. He answers them. I'm going to try and give my thoughts on the opposition this season. Now, you might have to jump in and sort of like give me your comments, and I'll get as much of them on the screen as I do before I knock it on the head. So my thoughts on the opposition this season, all I can go on, ladies and gentlemen, is the facts and figures in front of me. Okay, so as far as them in the Greek Super League is concerned, they currently sit after 8 matches top. They've won 6, they've drawn 2. There obviously was that game the other day, which was paused at 1-1. I don't know what they're going to do about that, but they've got 20 points in 8 games and their goal difference is plus 20. They've scored 23 goals, they've conceded 3. However, if we turn our attention purely to this competition that we find ourselves in, not so clever. Right now, in this particular group, Group A, we're top with 6 points after 2 matches played. Freiburg, who was our opposition in the previous match day, they are second with 3 points, which they obviously got by beating Olympiacos in match day 1 of the Europa League. And in that, the last match day where we played Freiburg, we beat them 2-1 away. Olympiacos and Bacca Topola played out a 2-2 draw. So Olympiacos are third, and the only thing that's keeping them off the bottom is the fact that they've got a slightly better goal difference than Bacca Topola. Now, I know football doesn't work like this, but my very simplistic logic is, okay, so Olympiacos beat Bacca Topola, we beat Bacca Topola, and Freiburg beat Olympiacos, and we beat Freiburg. Logically speaking, we should be minimum not getting beat tomorrow. Now, I know the atmosphere is going to be quite hostile, but let's be completely honest about it. The players that we should be reasonably putting out tomorrow should have big game experience. A lot of them have played in European competition for the last 3 seasons. A lot of them are seasoned internationals, so have gone away, played in hostile atmospheres, not very nice, whatever. So really, I know people go on about, oh, the atmosphere is going to be quite hostile. You telling me they've never played in front of a fucking hostile atmosphere before in their life? Come on, let's have it right. This shouldn't really faze them. It shouldn't. We'll wait and see whether it does. My words could come back to haunt me. But I don't believe if you're a professional footballer, you're a Premier League player, you've got seasons worth of European competition experience, you've got international experience, really you should have seen it all. So going to this cauldron, the George's Stadium, I'm not going to pronounce it, George's Stadium, should be something that they should be able to cope with. As I say, on paper, their league form's very good. Europa League, however, not so clever. So my thoughts on the opposition basically are we should beat them. They're a decent team. They're a big fish in a small pond. I don't mean to be disrespectful, but that is basically what they are. Okay? They are a big fish in a small pond. And when they're put in a big pond, like the Europa League, they ain't so big anymore, as we're finding. So I think really we should be going there. Minimum expectation should be to get a point. But realistically, I think if we set up right, and that is the key, and it's always a bit difficult to get in the head of David Moyes in these games. I think in the Premier League, it's quite easy a lot of the time, I believe, to work out what his starting 11 is going to be, what his formation is going to be. In the Europa League, in European competitions, maybe not so much. So, but we might go through that. We might discuss that. But that's my thoughts on the opposition. I think really we should be taking care of them, if I'm being completely honest. Anyway, there will be some little facts going along the bottom, the little ticker at the bottom. Obviously, I've now changed it. So that's my thoughts on the opposition. Now, as for their key player, I mean, you mentioned him there, Happy, about Daniel Podenza. I've actually sort of singled out another player. Now, he's basically the player that I put on the thumbnail. Now, his name is Youssef Al Arabi. Now, he hasn't scored any goals in this particular competition, but he's a guy that's scored a good few goals in the Greek Super League. I think if he plays, which maybe he will, maybe he won't. But I think he could be a player that we need to look out for. He is a forward. He's a Moroccan player. The only thing is he's a little bit long in the tooth, but that doesn't necessarily mean anything. You know, Teddy Sheringham went on into his 40s and was still had a good output, was still sort of like pulling up trees and whatever and doing the business. I think this is a player that we probably will need to keep half an eye on. But like I say, it's always difficult to know even if he's going to play. So, you know, who is their key player? Like I say, I'm not an expert in Greek Super League football. I'm not going to lie. So I've just basically gone online. I've done a little bit of genning up. This guy's sort of jumped out at me, so I'm gonna select him as a key opposition player. Now, you guys in the live chat, you might have already put in who you think your key opposition player, and we'll come to that. That's not a problem. In actual fact, what we'll do, let's just have a look. I'm going to have a look at the comments again. Just to have a little wind down this. So Happy's come in. She says, opposition preview guess. Oh, that was Costas. Yes, I saw that. Said they'd like to finish third and drop down to the Conference League, so a point will do it. Yeah, we'll wait and see. Budgie, hope you're well, mate. Thank you for coming along. I'm guessing that's you again, Mandy. We can beat them all. Of course we can. Of course we can. If you believe what the mind can conceive, you can achieve. Who thinks Mabama should start? Yeah, I do. Do I think he will? Probably not. Probably not. And I'm guessing you're the same, Sharky. I dare say you would like to see him start, and you probably don't think it's going to happen. Budgie, however, disagrees. He says he doesn't think he should. It'll be a tough game. He's nowhere near ready for this kind of game. How do you know unless you chuck him in? Moyes won't do it. Moyes absolutely won't do it. But we'll wait and see. Was Mabama's birthday yesterday? However, I want Bowen up top, Kudus and Paqueta left and right. Mubama to come on second half. Okay, fair enough. Right, let's just wind through some of these comments. Will their key player unlock our defence? Listen, will their key player play? But I like what you did there, Rob. I like what you did there. It was very good. Very good indeed. They have a player, can't remember his name, but he picks up more cards than Alvarez. Okay, that could be someone we could target, but there you go. Right, so let's move on. Now, this one's probably going to be easier for me to sort of get my teeth into, and obviously yourself as well. So, who will be the West Ham player that will be key to a positive result? Again, kind of a difficult question to answer, because what team is David Moyes going to put out? Right. So let's talk about that. And you guys get involved in this. Get your comments in the live chat. I want to see what you think. So what team do you think David Moyes is going to select? Not what you want to see, what you think David Moyes is reasonably going to be able to put out. So here's me. Now, I wonder whether he's going to change formation. I do wonder whether he's going to play with 3 centre-backs. However, I think he will probably be resistant to that. I think he'll probably sort of not bother. He might toy with the idea, but I think ultimately he will do the usual 4-2-3-1 formation. I think in goal, it's fairly a safe bet that it's going to be Lucas Fabianski. Left back, because Emerson is not going to be involved against Everton, which is the game we play on Sunday in the Premier League, I think that he will probably play Emerson tomorrow. Right back, I think will be very likely Tilo Kehrer. And the centre-back partnership, I believe, will be Konstantinos Mavropanos, obviously going back to his home country. And I think he will be partnered by Angelo Ogbonna, in all likelihood. I then think that the double pivot, I think he will play James Ward-Prowse and Edson Alvarez. I'm not aware that they're on any sort of cards or anything like that. I'm just literally just checking as we speak, because I just want to make sure that I'm not sort of possibly putting a player out there that's actually on a yellow or something like that, and I look very, very silly. But I'm just winding back. So the squad list there, UEFA squad list. No, he's not got a ban, so he can play. So yeah, I think he'll go strong as far as the central midfield, sort of like the double pivot, is concerned. So I wouldn't be surprised if actually he doesn't change anything there and he goes Ward-Prowse and he goes Edson Alvarez. Alvarez will probably get booked because that's normally what he does. I think Bowen is pretty much nailed on to start, and I think he will start in his usual position on wide right. Will he play Paqueta? Not entirely convinced he will. I wouldn't actually be shocked if Pablo Fornal started. I really wouldn't. On the left, in the number 10 position. Oh, that could be an interesting one. I mean, he could even put Pablo Fornals in the 10 position and maybe put someone else on the left, like I don't know, maybe Maxwell Cornet, for instance. Up top is going to be the interesting one because I think there's part of me that would like Kudus to start. The problem is that I probably now my overriding emotion is that I actually want Kudus to start in the Premier League. So actually, if I was to see Michail Antonio start up top tomorrow, which would probably be a hint to say that he's not starting against Everton and Kudus will start in his place, I actually would probably take it. I'm not saying he's pulled up any trees lately. He certainly hasn't. He hasn't been a world beater. He's been fucking diabolical, if we're being completely honest about it. But I think if the trade-off of seeing him start tomorrow was that it meant that Kudus started against Everton, I'd take it. I'd take it. I would like to see Mubama involved. I'm not necessarily saying starting, but I think I'd like to see that, you know, a little bit of the game left, and especially if the game's the result of the game is assured either way, then I would say really what difference would it make? It would give him great sort of big match experience away from home in the Europa League, hostile crowd. He's going to have to get used to it at some point in his career, so why not? Why not tomorrow? Let's have a look. You guys have got thoughts on it, I think. At least I hope you have. So let's have a little wind along and see what you guys have put. Happy's disagreed with me. She says he shouldn't be risked at this stage of Europe, in her opinion, regardless of the ban at the weekend. We'd be fucked without him in the Prem. I know what you're saying, but at the end of the day, he's got to play. We're paying him wages. Why not? Listen, we're going to make alterations elsewhere, and it's going to be a weakened team. Let's be honest. So personally, like I say, I hear what you're saying. There's an argument to be had. I don't agree with it, but we move on. Budgie comes in, says Fabs, Johnson, Oggy, Dinos, Emerson, JWP, Suchek, Kudus, Bowen, Benny, and you're missing a player, Budge. So you, unless you're going with tactical masterstroke, and unless I've miscounted 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, you've selected 10 players, old son. So I don't know. Maybe that's the old Brian Clough tactic. Did you ever read a story he said about David Curry? It's out there. Mark Crossley said it. So Mark comes in and says they play 4-2-2-2. So Moyes will load the midfield as usual. So they'll be quite narrow then. Kudus in for Antonio, says Sharky. Yeah, I'd take that. Although, like I say, it would probably mean that if he plays against Olympiacos, probably means he ain't playing against Everton, which means we're going to see Antonio. I think I'd probably rather it the other way round on balance, but there you go. Happy comes back at me and she says, Fabs, Kufal, Big Mavs. She likes Big Mavs. She's gone off of little Argentinian sort of playmakers now, and she's sort of like she's now gravitating towards these big strapping Greek gods. You know, she just can't make her mind up. But there you go. Woman's prerogative, I suppose. Anyway, back to it. Fabs, Kufal, Big Mavs, Oggy, Kera, JWP, Alvarez, Paquetá, the 10, Benny, Kudus. Benny, I forgot about Benny. Bless him. Oh, dear. Benny, Kudus, Bowen up top is what I think Moyes will do. And then Budgie comes back and says he mustn't have typed Alvarez. There you go. 11 against 10, we can still win. Of course we can. Of course we can. It's all good. Yeah, opposite ends of the scale. Yeah. Right. So yeah, that's so my thoughts on who the West Ham player who will be the key. I believe it's very probably going to be, and this might be a surprise to some people. I think it's going to be Konstantinos Mavropanos, and for a number of reasons why I name him. I think number one, he's obviously got experience of playing against this very opposition. Clearly, he's got experience of playing in this stadium in front of these players, these fans. I think he will get the message across to the squad, to the players, what to expect. So I think he's key for that reason, let alone what he's going to bring on the pitch. I think he will bring defensive solidity. I think he will be organised. I think he's going to be up for this. And hopefully he will put in a performance which gives David Moyes a dilemma ahead of the Everton game. So I want to see a performance where he goes, oh, can I actually drop him for the next game? And he's got a dilemma, you know, Mavropanos, does he keep him in? And if he does, who does he drop? Does he drop Zuma or does he drop a gear? Because I don't think either of them have covered themselves in glory of late. I have to be honest. They both look like they're under scrutiny. I think they should be under scrutiny. That's my opinion. But so I think that Mavropanos actually is the guy. It's not going to be the usual suspects, the James Ward-Prowse, the Jared Bones. I'm not saying they're not going to play a part. I'm not saying that they're going to be complete fucking cannon fodder. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I think that Mavropanos, because of his experience in this particular situation, this team, this atmosphere, the stadium, everything about it, I think he is going to be absolutely critical. Zoo can't play again, surely. We need him against the Arse in a week. Who knows? Again, it's going to be a difficult one to predict what team he's going to put out. But Mavropanos is my answer to that particular conundrum of which West Ham player will be the key to the positive result. The next question that I have is, what would be your starting 11? I've already done that. So this one I can just whiz on through. I can just click through it and I don't have to worry. Again, we come to the last bit, which is what are your score predictions? Right, here's me. Olympiacos 1, West Ham United 2. I think we've got it in us to win. I think it's going to be, like I say, it won't be easy. I don't think that this is going to be, we can just turn up, take them completely for granted and expect to sort of blow them away 3-4-0. That is not going to happen. I think that is not going to happen. But I think we have got enough to deal with them. I think we've got enough to keep them at arm's length. Regrettably, I don't think we're capable of keeping a clean sheet. And this is a little bit of a conundrum. This is a little bit of a sort of an oxymoron, because it's one of those things where I think if you was to sort of like say stylistically, what would be your thoughts on David Moyes? Is he an offensive or a defensive manager? And I think most people would say he's a defensive manager. The stats that recently don't back that up, though, because if you look at it, it's like we are leaking goals like a fucking sieve. It really is ridiculous. So I think there's work that needs to be done there. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet. I think we're conceding a goal. But I think that we've got enough firepower going forwards, whether it's going to be a counter-attacking goal, whether it's going to be a set piece or set pieces, I don't know. But I think we have got enough in our weaponry to take them down by a scoreline of 2-1. And I think that is going to be enough for us to pretty much be assured of certainly progress in this competition. Whether it's going to be us playing a playoff by finishing second in the group and playing a team that drops down from the Champions League, or whether it's going to mean that we go straight through into the last 16, bosh, have some of that, I really don't know. But it would mean progress in a European competition for the third season in a row past the group stage, which I think, to be fair, I don't mean it to be funny, for a club that, like us, who've not up to this point had much of a tradition of qualifying season on season for European competition, I think is actually really creditable, to be fair. Let's have a little look at you guys, what we've got, what we have got. Budgie comes in, says she can't decide. She suggested an Argentinian Greek sandwich. There you go. Alcatraz will get sent off anyway. What was that? Oh, it's a fly. It's a fly buzzing around. Bastard fucking thing. Steak and feta sandwich. Sounds bloody delicious. Well, suit yourself. What we got? So Mavs and Kera will provide standout performances. Yes, absolutely. I think that Kera's going to be important, but I'm going to say that the key man is Mavropanos. 2-0 to West Ham, says Mark. Benny penalty and big Mav header from a JWP corner. I'd take that, mate. Budgie comes in, says 3-0 to West Ham. 2 penalties and a Souček screamer. Souček screamer? Really, Budgie? You got lemonade with that, mate? A Souček screamer? No, it'll be a header, mate. It's always a header. Come on. Either that or it'll be a 6-yard sort of tap in. 3-1 to the Hammers, says Sharky. Happy Hammerette comes in, says 1-1. Not as easy as it might seem, in my opinion. Feel like the drubbing at the weekend, mate. I'm guessing that's lower our, or knock our esteem. You've gone on to correct it, so might knock our esteem. So there you go. Do you have any concerns for our players out there on the pitch? Are we talking in terms of getting hit by fireworks and shit like that? No, because I think that off of the back of what happened the other day, I think that you'll find that the stewarding, the policing will probably be even more tighter than it otherwise would have been, simply because of that. I also don't think that the atmosphere is going to be at the same sort of hostile level, simply because we got to remember that game the other day when it all happened. It was a local derby. It was the equivalent of, like I say, River Plate, Boca Juniors, Partizan, Red Star, Fenerbahce, Galatasaray, two teams that basically fucking hate one another. And so really, I think that it's not actually that much of a shock to me that it happened in a game like that. So I think we're all right. Suchek Screamer is a header. Okay, that's fair. I mean, that I could envisage. From his foot, no chance. I don't think I could ever see Thomas Suchek hitting a 30-yarder. Really can't. But you know, policing security are shit standards. Yeah, no, I'm not saying that they're great. I'm just saying that I think, as I say, the security will be beefed up. Maybe not because it's West Ham's necessarily. I think it will just be because of what happened the other day. There'll be more eyes watching this game than otherwise would have been the case. So, but what else have we got? Hang on, let me just go back to the comments. Sharky comes in. We played these lot back in the 60s. Do I remember it? You cheeky git. You cheeky git. And if you didn't notice, I already put it across the ticker. But I'll tell you what, I'll go back. That there, I done my research. I've done my due diligence. The facts have been scrolling across the bottom, and you didn't even notice that one. I had it prepared. So, you can thank me later. She's forgotten about Lanzini. Absolutely. She's moved on to another one, and it's just, he's off. He's in the bin. And he's gone. She's sort of like, she's on to the next one. You watch another European away match ban for our fans if it all kicks off. Well, we'll wait and see. I think it'll be all right. Hopefully, it'll be all right on the night. And Budgie says he remembers it. Well, like I say, it was about 9 years before I was even born. So yeah, I can't really sort of comment on that one. Still following, but it's no good without seeing him in the flesh. Fair enough. Yeah. Right. Okay. I'm going to disappear. I am going to knock it on the head. It's been really great to sort of have a little chat with you guys. You really do make this sort of like such a good experience for me and Ben as well. I know that he enjoys sort of like the little bits and pieces that we get involved in. But thank you very much for joining us. Do me a favor. I know I say it. Look, there's 10 of you watching right now. If all 10 of you could take the YouTube link, right, and put it onto your Facebook, your Twitter, your Instagram, your TikTok, whatever, and just put a little snippet, a link to the stream, a link to the YouTube channel, and just say to people, look, could you subscribe to this asshole? He'll stop asking me to fucking subscribe. Then, that'd be great. We could grow this channel. And look, we're not going to take over the world. We're not going to be a West Ham fan TV or anything like that. But you know what? If we can sort of make this channel the very best version of it itself that it could be, it's really sort of like, for me, I think it's a good thing. And the more people we can get involved, I'll be honest, I love the comments coming in. I love the interaction, the social media bits and bobs. So as I say, if you guys can help us, you guys that are watching and that's live, or even sort of like at a later stage, people watching it at their own leisure, if you could sort of like put it onto your social media platforms, really, really, really would make all the difference. It really would be appreciated. Please, as it says, don't forget to like. If you're not watching this on YouTube, hop over to YouTube, put a like on the stream. Again, that helps the old YouTube algorithms and gets the channel out to parts the other beers cannot reach. Remember the old slogan? I'm a secret lemonade drinker. There's another one for you, the older ones. Please don't forget to like, comment on, and share the stream to your social media platform. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't done so already. Hit the bell icon for alerts on new content. As always, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you very much indeed for your support. And I also like to say thank you for your company tonight. Guys, stay safe. Don't forget, give the Iron Supporting Food Banks charity all of your love and support. And we will see you next time. Take it easy. Come on, you Irons. and keep the faith. The West Ham Massive are pleased to support Iron Supporting Food Banks. They are a group of West Ham fans and friends inspired by the work of other football food banks around the country. They collect food and cash donations for a Newham food bank in Beckton, who supplies 7 distribution centres in the borough 7 days a week and hand out several hundred 3-day emergency food packs every month to families in need. They are also working with other groups to improve conditions for vulnerable adults and children in the Newham community. You can help by making a donation to their Just Giving page. You will find the link to this in the description section of the video details in this stream. Thanks for your support. Come on, you Irons. I'm going to come back and I am going to give this a plug for you, Budge. Also, hop over to Green Street Elites. That's Budgie's YouTube channel. Green Street Elites, Old School Hammers at 11. Hop over there. Again, give him some of your love. Give him a subscribe. Like the stream that he's on. He's doing some good things over there. I mean, he's even burning the sort of like virtually the midnight oil, 11 o'clock, to give you guys some entertainment and some knowledge. Get yourself across there. You know it makes sense. Love you lots, guys. And we'll see you again soon. Be good. Everywhere we go.